Good morning, g'day. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you're all doing well. Happy Thursday. It's Jimmy Trades here for your Thursday market analysis. Pre-market, that is, before New York Open. Hope you all had a good Wednesday. Did you manage to get a trade? Let me know in the comments. I did not. We'll have a look at the only opportunity I was focused on, which didn't tag me in. Objective also was achieved on that, so we'll have a look at that. That was on an oil trade. Also, if you missed out on yesterday's midweek market meetup, be sure to go and check out the recording. Plenty of value in there, even on playback. There's plenty of information provided to help you guys on your trading journey. I'll throw the link up. You should see it somewhere on the screen here. And remember to sub to the channel, guys, like the video, and turn on the notification bell. That way you are made aware of whenever I drop new content. All right, let's move over to the calendar. This is where we start our day every day. And we have some news today. We have high impact news at 8:30 with unemployment claims. So I do like 8:30 news. It's my preferred time for news to drop because it means I can get ready straight after news to look for opportunities to enter the market. So 8:30 for news. There's also, if we have a look at energy, we do have natural gas storage at 10:30. Personally, I don't let this worry me too much when it comes to trading oil. I never really noticed too much of a reaction in the market on oil when the natural gas storage drops. So it doesn't worry me. If I'm in a trade, I'll let the trade play out, even if this news drops. I know some people, they take this into consideration, and that's really personal preference, and your experience in the market will determine how you approach this type of news event. Let's move over to the charts. And guys, always as a note, remember you can grab your Apex and My Funded Futures evals using code Jimmy. You'll always get the best deal. There's still 80% off on Apex. So great opportunity to load up. And there's always good deals with My Funded Futures. Entry price of $76 using code Jimmy. And there's no activation fees with My Funded Futures either. The milestone plans, you can still get, what do we got? 10 days left in this month. There's still an opportunity to grab 10 to 15% off the milestone plan, whichever, depending on the plan that you decide to go with. They're a great plan, a great way to get paid as you move to funded. And that's live funded after 4 phases, straight to live funded. All right, let's move on with it. Let's get over to the charts and have a look at NQ here. So NQ, we see moved up into this bearish FEG, and then we got to close back inside of Tuesday's candle range. So that sort of, for me, indicates possible bearish price action. If we have a look at the weekly range, let's just have a look at the weekly range here. So what I've been looking for is price to respect previous week's 50% level, 50% of the range. Price has reached up towards that. We didn't get a test of it. I would have liked to have seen a test there. But now I'm looking at this as a potential, midweek reversal now that we've closed back inside the range. So I'm going to look for bearish price action today. Plus, we are inside a bearish FEG. So this is our internal and then we look to external. It's the simplest way to grab your bias. And to determine your bias, we just look for internal range liquidity, being FVGs. External range liquidity are swing highs or swing lows. So bearish, let's clear these up. I think we did pretty good with bias yesterday, albeit except for gold, but we'll have a look at that. Let's drop down to the hourly. We can see here, change in the state of delivery. What was interesting yesterday is that we did actually get manipulation at open, or we started to get an opposing run from 8:30. Where was that? Here. It was a lot deeper than I anticipated. So I was looking for this to be manipulation here. Sorry, accumulation rather, manipulation, and then distribution. But we didn't actually get that distribution because that manipulation was quite deep. What we did see is price respecting the change in the state of delivery. So this was the bullish change in the state of delivery and this bullish breaker. Even though price did come straight through that, we didn't get closed through this level. And I mean, look at how price just respected that change in the state of delivery. We bounced around. But in doing that move, we also had a change in the state of delivery here. So now we're in opposing PD arrays. So we've got bullish PD array and bearish PD array, and we've respected both. So if we're going to continue to move lower, then I'll be looking for price to start disrespecting this change in the state of delivery here and the bullish breaker. We're going to see price come lower. We need to see a close through these levels. We can see that price has respected this bearish FEG here. The price also did the same when it reached up to these highs. You can see that it respected this higher bearish FEG. Now we do have a sweep here. And when we run the projections from the high to the low, we can see that a -4 was reached before we retraced. And now we're sort of just chopping around a little bit between these PD arrays. So one, we move lower, we close below the change in the state of delivery, we get displacement, and we look for price moving lower, or we move higher, and then we end up targeting these levels from this sweep of liquidity here, where we have this low resistance liquidity and our target region above us here. All right, so that's the state of play on the hourly. Let's go and have a look at ES. Let's clear that up. So a similar scenario on the daily. We see price reached up into this bearish FEG. And then after doing so, price closed back inside the range of Tuesday's candle. So I'm looking for price to potentially head lower here today, internal to external. And again, if we look at the weekly range, we can see price nearly reached up to that 50% level of the previous week's range as well. Let's move down to the hourly and see what we've got down there. Yeah, it's much the same story as NQ, isn't it? We've got this change in the state of delivery. Change in the state of delivery, price respecting both. So now we're chopping between two opposing PD arrays. So like NQ, we're going to want to see price pick a side. So if we disrespect this change in the state of delivery and this bullish breaker, then I'm anticipating price to continue to move lower. Alternatively, if we move through this change in the state of delivery, then we can likely target this low resistance liquidity through here with our standard deviation projections. Okay, so this being our target region, if we do see price find a way to move higher. So I am going to say bearish on the daily. So whenever I mark these tags here, that's my daily bias. And for me, that's just a quick way to look at my assets and go, okay, that's where I'm sitting for the day. Again, I do revisit this prior to market open. Mainly on the hourly to see what's happening, because what time is it now? Say 4 a.m. So we still have a few hours before New York open. It's nearly 5 a.m. So with only 10 minutes to go on this hourly. Okay, let's go and have a look at oil. On the daily, we have a similar case here with oil as well. So price has positioned itself inside of this bearish FEG. And we have price on Wednesday, we see a sweep of Tuesday's high, and we close back inside Tuesday's range. So I look at this as a bearish signal that price may continue to move lower. So bearish for oil today on the daily. And let's have a look at the hourly. So we're to sweep here, essentially a stop hunt. Now this is a breaker, but we don't have displacement. We have displacement in this leg here, but we don't have the displacement aligned with the breaker. So it's not an hourly unicorn. And it looks like price may end up disrespecting this as well. We do have the change in the state of delivery, the negative change in the state of delivery. So we had a displacement in that leg, so that's okay. But it does look like we're disrespecting that now as well. So I was looking for bearish price action. We're going to have to see if oil tends to want to come back lower here, or if we're sweeping Tuesday's high, we may see price continue to move higher. but the bearish case would be our targets lower. Again, we have this low resistance liquidity aligned with the -4, and obviously we still have these imbalances that need to be rebalanced and aligned with the -2 to 2.5. So we'll just see how CL plays out here. Price was unable to move through this bearish FEG on the hourly here. So at the moment, it looks like price is inverting that change in the state of delivery. We've closed through that, and then we've come back down and tested that level. Again, this is something that I'll revisit closer to New York Open. Let's have a look at the 5-minute. So we've presently got the London low unmitigated here for oil as well. Midnight open's quite a long way away, so we're overextended here. There is potential we might see price move lower. This was the trade that I was looking at yesterday, and it aligned with my bias. Everything aligned here. This is my bearish breaker. We had a stop hunt, and then price was running lower. We got displacement aligned with the breaker. And I had limit orders set on this. Now the reason I didn't market order in, because I do both, is that this candle is the candle that would have been my precursor to the market order. For me, this closed too low. So at the time, I'm pretty sure this was Asia lows here. And this is just how I look at it. The reason I wouldn't have market ordered in there is because my risk, if I got in here and I was, reasonably tight to the breaker, then I'm achieving 2R. It was almost exactly 2R there. So to that Asia lows, and that would have been my target. If I had a market ordered in, my stop stays the same. And on the close of this candle, if I got in, I would have been filled back up here. All of a sudden, I've gone from a 2R trade to a 1R trade, or less than a 1R trade. So that's why I wouldn't market order in there. If I was 1 or 2 ticks below, then yeah, no worries. It's still a 1.7R trade. So I didn't market order in. I put a limit order in, and I actually front ran that a little bit, and I still didn't get a fill. So these candles came up and I didn't get a fill. There was an opportunity here to market order. You would have been a few ticks low, but that was probably the only opportunity. And then when news dropped, if you sat in the trade, news dropped, it just fell straight through and cleaned up those Asia session lows. So actually quite a nice trade in the respect of all the confluences there. The drawn liquidity was there. Everything was there to make this a really nice trade. Unfortunately, I just didn't get a fill. All right, let's move over to Euro futures on the daily. So it looks like our bias is playing out here. we did have price with our buyers yesterday moving from this internal, and we're looking for this external level to be reached, and it does appear that we're on our way there. So I'm going to stay with bearish bias for Euro futures. Here on YM, so YM, we came into this bullish FEG, and we had this nice buyers week here, and our idea was that price would move higher yesterday, and we did get a move higher. And I'm going to stick with that idea. See if we can't target this bearish FEG here. RTY. Similar story here on RTY. But now we've got, or we're seeing price come into this bearish FEG. And then price, did price close back inside the range of Tuesday's candle? Let's see, what's the high? 2343, sorry, we want the close, sorry. 2336.6. And we want the high of this one, 233. Okay, so it's the same level. So we didn't get that close inside the range. Regardless, we are in an internal range liquidity, a bearish point of interest, so we'll look for price to move to external. So we'll be bearish today for RTY. Moving on to gold now. Gold just having a nice little run. So we swept the low here, and we've had expansion this entire week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday has just continued to expand. It looks like we're moving beyond the midpoint of this bearish FEG, and we are displacing through that as well. So we could see continued expansion today through Thursday, and then potentially a reversal for Friday. So we'll remain bullish for gold for the time being, because of the trend is your friend. And you can see here we've just had displacement. You know, we've left a gap here, another gap here, and another gap here. So there's momentum here, there's strength here. We'll remain bullish because of that. Just because we're in a bearish point of interest doesn't necessarily mean we have to be bearish. We've got to look at what we're being told here, what the information on the chart's telling us. So Dixie, we are getting that move higher that we're looking for. Let's see here, moving from this internal range liquidity, this bullish FEG. So we are looking like we may reach up to these old highs here. So bullish for Dixie. Okay, last one. Let's go and check out GU. Okay, so looks like we got the bias wrong here yesterday. We didn't get that move high that we were looking for. So we're moving from external here, and we've been looking for price to move back to internal, but we've got this candle closure back inside the range here from Tuesday as well. So we may actually see price push lower here. With a midweek reversal. And then we'd be targeting this low. Looks like we're invalidating the 50% level of this wick as well from Tuesday. So we'll say we're bearish today for GU. All right, guys, let's wrap it up there. Also like to mention that I think we're very close to seeing a launch for Ascetic Capital. They've been working very, very hard behind the scenes to create what's going to be an amazing product offering for prop firm, from the prop firm market. So I'm very excited to see what they bring to the table. And I will be doing some giveaways when they launch. And word is it will definitely be before the end of this month. So I've been quiet on mentioning anything, but it's very, very close now, and I'm excited to be a part of that, as I've said before. So watch this space and be ready to jump into Ascetic Capital. All right, guys, remember to sub to the channel. Please like the video, and we will catch you tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll see you in the Discord. Bye for now.